All right, we are good to go. Um,
Hello, hello.
hello. My name is 064, also known as CT Bayonetta. I am with my co-host Major Wire. Um, and welcome to episode one of our 104th podcast we are doing. Uh, we don't really have a name for it right now, so we're just gonna go with it at the moment.
Yeah,
Uh,
indeed.
yeah. Uh, but um, yeah.
Our topics will be everything, like our daily life. We will probably also talk about our 104th life because we, of course, have said we are in here in the 104th.
It's how
We
we
will
are.
explain what it is and what we do in it. But we basically live like a celebrity. We live double lives. We live a private life and we live our 104th life as our clones. Um, so yeah, we'll be talking about everything about our real life and about other things.
Exactly, as Wire put it, uh, it's two separate things. It's just we have our own lives that we live outside of the game and outside of the community, and then we have our lives within the 104th that we do. Um, and it's just things like that. It provides an interesting perspective on things. Um, uh, I guess I will start. I
Cool.
personally joined the 104th almost 2 years ago. Uh, I don't know how long you joined Wire. You've probably been here longer than me. I joined my junior or senior year of high school. It would have been in 2021. I graduated in 2022. Um, and I've been here for almost 2 years now. It will be 2 years March 15th. Uh, and I would say I guess, a lot has changed since I first joined and then versus now. I wouldn't say
Yeah, yeah.
all in a bad way, mind you, but uh, there were some things I didn't like. There were some things I liked a lot. It's been a roller coaster to say the least. Um, uh, how long have you been here, Wire?
You might say I've been here for almost 4 years. I've
Damn.
joined back in November 2019 in this little Discord group called the 104th Battalion Milsim. I started then as a small guy who was 19. I was in my first year of my bakery, my baker education, what do you call it, study. And now I'm a full grown pastry chef and I am a major in here. So it's been a hell of a roller coaster for me too in the past years. So yeah, and a lot has changed in our little community.
You're a pastry chef. I
Yeah,
did.
I'm a pastry chef.
I did not know that. For me, I didn't go to college or university, as you guys would call it. Uh, I didn't want the debt that associated with that because it costs a lot to go to college over here, like a lot. Uh, uh, my,
Yeah.
my brother, for example, went in for chemical engineering, is what he went in for, and I think he's like, I'd say, I don't know, 25K in debt, if not a little less than that,
Okay.
which is reasonable. But at the same time, I'm like, that's a lot of money. That is a lot of money. Um, and so I never went to college or anything like that, but I graduated high school with a welding degree that I ended up not pursuing because of
Hello.
uh, because of I thought I was going to fail it, and um, as a result, I didn't feel confident enough in my ability to pursue welding. So I ended up ditching that, and I went to work for an auto body shop over where I live, and uh, I was a janitor for some time, and I was working two jobs back to back. I worked for Aldi's, and I worked for the truck body company. I did that for 2 weeks. I
Mhm.
worked from 6 a.m., almost 6 a.m. to 3:30. I would have a half an hour off to an hour. Then I worked from 4 to 10 at all these. I did that for 2 weeks, got burned out, and abandoned both jobs.
Okay.
I now work for Amazon, and that's the longest job I've held down so far, which was about uh, almost 2 years now. It's going to be 2 years this coming August.
All right. Yeah. To clarify, of course, we're from different side of the world. From what you guys call college, I guess I went to college. University is the same level. I never went to university because I don't like it. In my country, also the Netherlands, it's very stigmatizing to go to it. Um, because the lower class jobs like mine, you wouldn't say so, but pastry chef is a lower class job. Um, and the kids who went to a lower class education and study always get shoved down in my country. So I've grown a resentment against people that are going to university. I don't care that they have a debt. I never had a debt. I never got a loan. I could have gotten a loan for my studies, but I never did because I didn't want to spend the money. I'm very curious and very particular about my money. Um, but yeah, I began as a baker. Uh, for 3 years was the studies. I finished it. Then I went ahead. I had two choices in my business: become a bread baker and deepen the knowledge in here, and or become a pastry chef. And I never liked bread baking because it's always the same. You need a you need bread dough, you let it rise, you knead it again, you let it rise, and then you bake. Pastry, you have a lot more doings. You're more busy with all that stuff. So yeah,
I, s-
that's why I chose pastries.
I see.
And as a pastry chef, you're more I don't know the English word for it, but you can work at a lot more uh, places. You can work in a restaurant, hotel, and the bakery itself. So that's why I chose it, and I still like it. Um, for the working hours, it's 6 a.m. till 2 p.m. for me, so it's early days. But my job that I have now at a hotel is so far the most fun job, and there is no routine. That's one thing I hate in a job. That's routine, especially in my job, when you can plan the pastries ahead 1 week at a time. At this hotel, I can't, so that keeps the routine out of the play and keeps the exciting part and the challenging part in play. So,
I
yeah.
I see. So it's like you go in and you're not expecting what you're gonna make. It's more so like you go in and you don't know what's going to happen. It's more, think of it like a surprise. You don't know what's going to happen. Um, and as a result, that excites you a bit because it's not the same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah, indeed. And the most fun part is too in the Netherlands. I will probably refer a lot to my country. But in the Netherlands, the most bakeries and pastries chefs are a little dull with it. They make the classics like apple pie, tompoes, and all that other stuff, and keep it that way. Keep the old-fashioned way. That's not what we do. We um, think of new things. I work a lot with fruits, fruit compote, fruits and spices. So
I see.
yeah.
For me, my working hours are 12-hour shifts, but it's more of like a, think of like a double-edged sword almost. I work Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I work three
Mhm.
days a week, but they're 12-hour shifts. So I get 4 days off in return, but I have to work 3 days back to back, 12-hour shifts.
Yep.
So it's a give and take type of thing. And working for Amazon hasn't been the worst thing in the world. There are some things I will admit aren't the greatest, but it's been pretty easy going so far. We got a new manager beginning of last year or middle of last year. My AM, he's decent, but I like my OM more. OM stands for Operations Manager, and AM stands for Assistant Manager. So I'm a T1, which is a Tier 1.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's no T2. There's a Tier 3, which is a Tier 3 job. Think of it like a ladder, almost like we have here in the 104th. There's a T3 job. Then it goes to L4, Assistant Manager, L5, Assistant Manager, L6, Operations Manager, L7, Senior Operations, L8, AGM, which is Assistant General Manager of the whole building. And then you have L9, which is GM, which is General Manager for the whole building. And then L10 and above, I think, are corporate positions from there.
Okay.
Amazon just laid off, I think, 100,000 people in corporate positions, mind you, not in SC positions, which is fulfillment center. So it is. You can get higher, you can retire with Amazon. It's just very difficult to do because of how many people Amazon has. I think Amazon as a whole right now has one of the highest turnover rates across just in general, because like I work in learning, for example. We help onboard people onto new things, and I've heard stories come out of like my T3 learning managers and stuff like that people will go to, like, they'll sit in the first room they go into, which is called the day one room. They'll sit in there for 5 minutes and then they'll just literally leave because they don't like it. Or people will go to lunch break and they just won't return. Because they just don't like it. But the thing is, Amazon wants people to leave. Like, for example, I've been there for almost 2 years. They would want me to leave, then rehire me at a lower rate because it's cheaper for them. So the more people that leave, the better is the thought process behind it, I think. But the problem with that is they can't retain the employees then.
No. Okay.
Other than that, I just the past couple of days have been pretty hectic. I'm not even gonna lie with you, man. On Wednesday, I was in a wreck on Wednesday. I got into a car accident, and my car was totaled.
Well, how did it happen?
So,
if you want to say.
Oh yeah, I can. So, I don't know if you guys have it in the Netherlands, but over here in the U.S., we have intersections that the lights turn green at the same time. So one side will turn green and the other side will turn green. So the cars that are going straight have the right of way. So you let the cars go straight, then you make the turn, okay? So that the cars that went straight have already passed, you can make the turn, it's safe to do so. I didn't see the car on the other side of me when my light turned green. So I went to go turn, and I hit a car almost at a diagonal head-on.
Jesus.
When I hit the car, it pushed my engine block like a couple inches closer towards the cab, and the engine block was completely shot. I was fine, but losing that car, I did not need right now, but we're here right now. I'm working on finding a new car right now. And then I had surgery on my toe right the next day, Thursday. It would have been the day after. They call it a surgery. It technically is a surgery, but it was just an ingrown toenail I had. And then they just took the whole toenail off. They just ripped the whole thing off.
Oh, jeez. Okay. That's indeed a pretty hectic week.
And then I went to work on Saturday. No, Friday and Saturday, yeah.
Jeez.
So that's what I've been up to. I've just been chilling. Got to find a new car. I'm gonna pay off my rent here today, actually, and then my electric bill will come after.
Oh my. Yeah, I don't have those things. I'm the typical Dutch guy that lives in his own room with his parents. I do stuff in the household. I cook a lot.
Yeah,
I do groceries. I don't clean as much. But yeah, I do those things. If people want to know, I'm almost 23. In 2 weeks, in 17 days, I become 23.
damn.
Most Americans that will listen to this will think, why you're still living at home. I'm still living at home because the house and rent prices in my country are ridiculous.
There's
If I want to rent something, I have to pay my entire how do you go payment from what I get from work, like 2,000. I have to pay that everything to rent and other bills, so I lose every single bit of money that I earn. So that's why I'm still living. I have a
oh,
big pot of gold, if you would say so. I save a lot. I save very much. So yeah, I'm considered more rich than my other uh, kids who are my age. So yeah.
I'm gonna turn 21 actually.
Oh,
Uh,
nice.
Turn 21 in April of this year. Uh, so I'll be doing that. And over here, it's the same over here, man. Like my apartment that I have right now, I got it right before the prices went up. So like my rent is $695 a
Mm-hmm.
month for right now. It's jumping to 740 in April or May. But that's very minor compared to what is happening around me. That's a 10% increase. Um, and like right after the prices hit, like my apartment is worth almost $900 now. Uh, it's like almost $900 to rent a one bedroom apartment where I'm staying right now. It's about 1,200 to rent a two bedroom apartment, and it's almost
Mm-hmm.
1,400, if not higher, to rent a three bedroom per month.
Okay, yeah, for me it's 1,200 for one bedroom, and then higher and higher for the
That's
more bedrooms.
actually insane. That
Yeah,
is
it
actually
is.
insane. Um, I feel like we're gonna go into an economic crash here soon. So hopefully the prices of things drop because people can't afford things anymore. Uh, because what's gonna happen is uh, people can't afford things anymore. Basic things like I don't know if you noticed milk, eggs, cheese, stuff like that. It's all going up in price. So the thing is the expense of living is going up. So people have to either meet that demand or they don't meet that demand. If they don't meet that demand, stuff isn't selling.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say it's going to be like a stock market crash, nothing like that, but more like an economic crash in price because they're going to start lowering the prices so people start paying for stuff. Or people keep meeting the demand and then the prices stay the same.
Mm-hmm.
At least
Yeah.
that's how my brain processes it. I'm not an economic analyst or anything like that, but that's just how my brain processes it and how I think it's going to go personally.
Yeah, I don't know how it's going to be in my country. Everything is going up. Many Dutch people are very ignorant, but there are also lots of them that are going to protest. We already have a lot of protests. We have our trains, buses, metro, trams. They're all going to protest this week for better payments and all that stuff. While I'm dependent on the train because I don't have a driver's license, so I travel with the train and bike. The very Dutch way of traveling, but I like it and I don't mind it. So yeah.
I get that feeling. My junior year of high school, my parents took my car away, the car I had because it was under their name at the time, uh, and I had. They told me I either go to school or I get kicked out. They gave me an ultimatum. I had to go to school. That was a good choice on my part. I was like, I have to go to school. It's a must. So I literally either walked a mile and a half, almost 2 miles, or I biked 2 miles almost. And I just eventually they gave my car back, but I was like, I just have to do it because my high school diploma was that important, because that's the foundation of everything. If you don't have your high school diploma, not a lot of people will hire you over here.
Okay.
Think of it like a, I don't know what to compare it to. It's like a certificate that you completed school. Almost. Yeah. Speaking of protests, did you see the French protests that are going on right now?
No. I usually read news articles that are from the Netherlands.
The French are protesting right now.
Oh, the French are protesting. Okay.
Yeah.
For what?
As far as I'm aware, I think the French, I think it was over a criminal that the police let out, who then killed someone, if I recall correctly. That could be, don't take my word for that, that could be completely wrong, but I remember reading something about that. It could be for something entirely different, but I just know they're protesting right now.
Okay. I never knew that. Yeah.
What year is it? It is 2023 now.
Yeah.
We're about,
It is.
midterms were last year. The presidential election is going to be next year. Shit.
Oh my. Yeah, what was it, 2 years ago? I still worked at another hotel as an intern. Yeah, and that was last. I followed the last election because I woke up so early, so it was like in the night, in the evening for you, so I could follow it easily. But normally I don't follow it. I don't, especially in the Netherlands. I don't follow the politics because in the Netherlands we are a bit ignorant and we don't like politics. Especially now we don't have faith in our cabinet again, not anymore. So people are saying we want this person out, but they're all voting on this guy. So we're very controversial.
Yeah, politics is a very spicy topic when it comes to talking about it, because I wouldn't say it's hard to have a conversation about it. It's just that people believe a certain way and they believe in that way solely.
Yeah, no, I don't care. I'm very open-minded.
Yeah. For me, I'm more of an independent personally. I go both ways. So it's just more so like a what's best for the country type of thing. Like, what is going to make things better? That's my whole shtick, I guess. Not make things worse for people, because people already have it bad as is. We don't need to make it worse now.
No, indeed. Yeah, no.
Do you have any cats by any chance? Random question.
What?
Do you have any cats?
Yeah, I have one cat at the moment.
Oh, the reason I ask is because my cat's laying right beside me, and I just, I have two of them personally.
Oh yeah, no, my cat is very afraid to come into my room when I'm here. So
My cat's
it's always when I go up to my room, I hear her jumping from the window and then going down. So yeah.
I wake up to my cats laying with me a lot. Laying on me, laying around me, laying on my feet, laying on my pillow.
Oh yeah.
I gotta get it fixed here soon, though.
Very weird question. Do you like cooking? And can you cook as a 20-year-old? And I heard that you live in an apartment, so you have to cook for yourself.
So, cooking is a very... I'm still learning, I guess is the way to put it. Um,
Okay.
when it comes to cooking, it's a very peculiar process for me because I feel like if I mess something up, it messes the whole thing up, and then I gotta scrap it. Or like
Uh-huh.
I'm missing something, or it's the opposite where I'm missing something, or I feel like I can proceed with the recipe without it.
Okay.
Like for example, I got macaroni and cheese in the cupboard that I have. It calls for milk. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any milk right now, so if it came to it, I would either use dried milk or just not use milk at all.
Dried milk? You have dried milk?
Yeah, you've never used dried milk?
I've never heard of dried milk.
Oh, yeah. Um, my mom has it, but it's literally dried milk.
Do you mix it with water to get milk or something, or?
Huh. Let me grab my phone real quick. Hold on. I'll look it up real quick, but I know my mom has a jar of it in her pantry.
A, a jar? What do you use it for?
As in, it's used as a substitute if you don't have milk. Or it's used as a substitute in some recipes where, like, either the milk you have is wrong,
Mhm.
as far as I understand it, or you need dried milk for that specific recipe. Yeah, it's a powder, is what it is.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so weird.
Also,
Yeah.
dried milk, that's another thing I just saw. Dried milk can be preserved longer than regular milk.
You know that I understand. But do you actually eat it or drink it?
You could, yes, you probably mix it with water, honestly. Mix the dried milk with water to make milk.
Oh my god. You Americans are so weird.
Have you ever had canned milk before?
Canned milk, yes.
Yeah, so sometimes they put milk in cans. Like,
Yeah, that's uh yeah, canned milk I use it um to make the Italian uh caramel dulce de leche.
uh, I'm teaching.
Then with to make dulce de leche is you put the entire can with the canned milk in water, you boil it for like what is it, 8 hours, and then when you open it, you have some very tasty um, caramel, but then like not from sugar, but from the milk. The milk sugars then caramelize, and then you get a very creamy and like texture and a very creamy flavor from it.
I should give you one of my recipes. It's very easy to make. It's my mom's recipe as well. It's called sausage noodles and cheese. Um, it's literally egg noodles, sausage, and Parmesan cheese all put together.
No, cooking is one of my hobbies too. Um, that's why I cook a lot, and I don't bake a lot because it's already my profession. But I am making my own sourdough. I'm not sure if you have
Sourdough bread?
no sourdough.
Oh, just the dough itself.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not a dough. It's how do you say it? It's sourdough is the starting point of your yeasting process.
I see.
I'm in the most crucial point because sourdough takes 10 to 21 days to make a culture, a yeast culture of bacteria, good bacteria, to create life. Because what you do is you, what way I see it with my philosophy is you create life. It's just plain water with flour, equally dosed. So I started with 25 grams of water and 25 grams of flour, regular flour. Because you can use any type of flour, and then what you do is we call it feeding, but it's literally you add and you add, and then once a week I clean the jar, put everything out, then I put a little bit back, and the rest of it I throw away, or you can make other things from it. But
Oh,
sourdough is a culture. It's a living. It's sort of, yeah. You can see it as a living organism, and from that you make bread. Indeed.
that's why my mom lets it sit.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Let's sit.
So my mom makes her own bread sometimes.
Uh huh.
In order to get it started, she has to start with the dough itself and let it sit, and then she could take the dough and then make bread from it.
Yeah.
Um, that makes so much sense now. I understand. Uh, for me, cooking is more of like a simple recipe because I don't know how to cook in depth yet. So it's more of like a simple recipe, something I can make easily, and that will work.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, One thing I really do enjoy, though, I've always enjoyed, is gaming. That is like my number one hobby, honestly.
Yeah, mine too. But I must say I'm doing it less than I did when, like, 4 to 5 years ago.
Like,
I do it less now.
I just got a PC recently, so I have access to almost everything now. I have an Oculus, I have a PC, I have an Xbox, a PlayStation, and a Switch.
Yeah,
So now the options are literally endless.
yeah, indeed.
If you ever get the chance to try VR, if you ever get a chance, it is one of the most exhilarating things you could try for the first time.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm considering it, but I'm not sure my PC would handle it.
Uh,
Um,
what specs do you have on your PC?
that's the one thing. I do not have the faintest idea of PCs. A friend of mine who's also in the one of Fourth, he's called CT Iro. He lives on the other side of the Netherlands. He built my PC. I bought everything. I let it ship to him, and he builded it. He shipped it to me, and then I have it now for like a year. I already expanded my memory disk. Um,
I'll show you how to understand your specs then, because you have your CPU, which is your central processing unit.
yeah.
You have your graphics card, which is the one thing people talk about all the time. That's where you hear the thing RTX come up a lot, if you hear that.
Mhm.
You have your motherboard. You have your AIO, or your cooling system for your CPU. You have your case. You have your RAM.
Mhm.
And power supply, and then memory. A lot of people
Okay.
call power supplies PSUs. Uh, when I broke my motherboard, I don't know if I told you this, but I broke my motherboard. The first one I had to get a new one. So when you actually pop open the motherboard, uh, there's a slot in the center of it for the CPU. Now on AMD CPUs, they're called Ryzen CPUs. If you've heard of them,
Mhm.
you have Ryzen and Intel. Ryzen CPUs have little pins on the bottom of them, whereas Intel CPUs, at least my i7, didn't have. My i7 didn't have pins on the bottom of it. It had little pads that made contact with the CPU socket pins, and that's what made the connection. So the CPU talks to your motherboard and executes commands on your PC. So what I did is I accidentally bent the CPU socket pins. Now, each pin does something different. Some pins do the same thing, as in like some of the pins are ground pins, for example. They ground it out, so it doesn't. I guess, as far as I understand it, shock it. I guess is what I'm saying. Uh, so some of them do the same thing, but a lot of them do different things. Uh, So I bent the socket pins closer to the center, and my PC wouldn't start at all.
Okay.
So I had to get a new one, and I took everything apart. I taught myself what each component does. So
Uh-huh.
if you look at your PC right now, you see how it's like all sharp and everything. It looks clean. It looks like it doesn't look like stretched or anything like that.
No.
That's because those are what you call your drivers. They are in your GPU, which is your graphics card. Your graphics card processes everything graphical wise. So your frame rate, your hertz, stuff like that. It
Hmm.
makes your PC look good. Whereas your motherboard and your CPU execute commands. So
Yeah.
it's just stuff like that, and I just had to teach myself what everything did so that I could put it back together. And then I got one of my brother's friends to help me as well with it. It wasn't just me. Because when I got the new motherboard, I didn't want to fuck it up or something like that. So I was like, okay, we'll all do this. I'll get you guys some Wendy's for helping me, and we'll call it a day.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. What?
Okay. That's pretty interesting.
What, Violet? Yeah. Uh, so that's what I've been doing. I got a PC. I'm gonna download Battlefront 2 for the PC as well.
Hmm.
So I can attend raids on the PC side of things because I'd like to see it. Um, I'd like to see because I joined the PC sector just recently, and I was looking at the VC for it, and there were so many people in it. Like there was an
Yeah.
ungodly amount of people. I was like, holy shit! Like, can they even fit that many people in one raid? I thought 16 was the cap, right?
No, it's for the other sides. For PC, it's 20.
It's 20.
Yeah, PC is the 20. So that's one plus side for them.
Yeah, they can have more people
Yep.
on at one time.
Where on PlayStation and Xbox, it's limited to 16, I believe.
Yeah, that's why I'm on the Xbox side of things. That's my main branch. But I was gonna attend a PS4 raid and a PC raid, see how those go.
Yeah, they're pretty fun. A little
Um,
bit, little bit hectic if you don't know how to use Battlefront 2 on the PC.
oh no. So what you can do is on your PC, like I have a cord attached. I just connect my Xbox remote and I play off my Xbox remote. So
So okay. You're that kind of cheater. Okay.
oh wow.
So you're not going to convert to entirely PC. So you're going to play with an Xbox controller
Yeah,
instead of the
because I've
mouse.
always used controllers. I've always
Yes,
used
same here.
controllers.
Same here. But I've played Minecraft on my laptop, and that was going great. And now I'm playing games on my PC as well if I play. So yeah.
But like, if I want to join Operation Scuria, that Dark does, I
Mhm.
would have to use a keyboard because apparently that game doesn't have. Some games don't have gamepad configurations like that, so you have to use a keyboard. Like, what's a game that I had to use a keyboard? Oh, Project Playtime. One of the first games that I ever recorded on my PC. I had to use a keyboard for that because there were so many commands that you would have to put in to do things that you had to use a keyboard. You couldn't use a gamepad. There wasn't a configuration for it. So stuff like that, I would have to. Um, there's a game I'm looking forward to getting, but I can't get it right now. Have you ever heard of a game called Ready or Not by any chance?
Yes, I have.
That's a game I'm looking at getting here soon. Uh, after I get all my stuff sorted.
Okay, okay.
What else do I like to do? I like reading a lot too. That's another thing I like doing. Uh, and I work a lot.
All right. Maybe that's better to save it for the next podcast,
Okay.
so that people still have things to listen to.
I would agree. I just this is the first episode, so I don't know where this is gonna end, or just where to end it on. Uh,
Um. Well, let's give it an end now, and then next week we do another topic.
okay, sounds good, man.
Yeah.
Thank you all for watching. My name has been 064, also known as CT Bayonetta, and this is my co-host.
Wire, or in the one of Vault, it's Major Wire
Yeah.
CT9798.
Thank you all for watching. If you do see this, if you like what you see, leave a like, comment. Goes a long way, so I know what to do better, what we can do better. And if you want to see more of this, drop a subscribe. I'd appreciate it a lot. With that
Indeed.
being said, I will see you guys in the next one,
Yeah, indeed.
and we are out.